The EQC says it has enough staff and money in the kitty to respond to the latest earthquakes, despite having still work to do on Christchurch. Chief Executive Ian Simpson says it will be some time before the Commission assesses the impact of the latest quakes on its resources. Our reporter Edward Gay spoke to Mr Simpson a short time ago.
Christchurch, that's 5 years on. Will this take another 5 years, do you think?
Well, let's find out how big it is first. So, as we sit here today, we've received about 630 claims. And people do have 3 months to get their claims in. So we'll want to understand, the true scale of it, and then we can apply the lessons that we've learned from Canterbury.
Safe to say, though, that 630 claims, that's very early days, isn't it?
That's right. It's just the first few hours for those that had internet access to get the claim in. And to be honest, we'd stress to people there is no rush. You do have 3 months. Just look after yourself, look after your family and neighbours. Take photographs if you can, but then you've got some time to get the claim in.
You've seen the pictures, Ian. I mean, how big do you think this will be?
Again, very early, and I'm just seeing the same sorts of pictures that you are. Gut feel is, it isn't under a major urban centre like the Canterbury earthquakes were, so that will be useful. However, obviously the shaking was far more broadly felt, So those two factors may offset. We'll just have to wait and see a few more weeks to see how the claims come in.
We've had assurances from the politicians that there is enough money in the kitty. Can you confirm that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So EQC has about $4.7 billion of reinsurance. We still have some other financial resources, but at the end of the day, we have access to a Crown guarantee. So there are no circumstances under which EQC can't pay its claims.
Thank you. In terms of a dollar figure, I know it's early days, but can you put us in a ballpark?
Honestly, I really couldn't. It's just way too early. It's going to depend on not just the number of claims, but the spread of the damage as well, and it really is too early to start forecasting that sort of number. How
many staff do you have on the ground? How is that working?
So currently EQC has just under 900 staff in the organisation. But also, what we've learned from the February earthquake this year in Canterbury, so February 2016, is that if we spend a little bit of time planning and understanding the event, we can get a lot of work done really quickly over the phone with customers without needing to get high-vis vests all over the place. So again, we'll just take a wee while to understand the spread of the damage, and then we'll make sure we get an appropriate response that's based on the lessons from the past few years. One thing we learned from the early earthquakes is that if we go charging in, not as well prepared as we might be, it can be counterproductive. So we want to leave enough space for the emergency services and others to do what they need to do. We can do a bit of planning and then come up with a far better joined-up response.
Is it fair to expect people to wait 5 years in order to get their homes sorted out?
Well, I guess the Canterbury earthquakes, that's one of the largest insurance losses from a natural disaster anywhere in the world. EQC's fixing of 67,000 homes we think is one of the biggest construction projects ever undertaken in New Zealand, and those things take time. So we're really pleased we're now at the end of that process. We've only got about 50 first-time repairs to complete, and we've learnt lessons from that. And once we understand the scale of this event, then we'll be applying those lessons.
That's Ian Simpson talking to our reporter Edward Gay.